Birth is transformational. Birth is empowering. So why did I say birth is empowering? Because mom, you would not know how strong you are until you tried giving birth. So sure, there are so many fears before giving birth because of the movies, the TV shows of how they depict giving birth and what will actually happen. So nagkakaroon tuloy tayo ng we are afraid of the unknown. Remember my birthing story in 2017. I prepared for a natural birth. I actually attended birthing classes with my husband, research and read different books or maybe information overload, but I am so prepared as what I think of. And the information needed, the well researched, all the things needed, birth plan, baby stuffs, mom stuffs, lahat-lahat yon. I did not prepare myself well, just the information. Unfortunately, my dream birth did not happen. My birth plan was not followed. It's not a gentle birth. I ended up having an emergency C-section. Of course, I still considered myself blessed to see our firstborn delivered safe in New Year Eve's pa yun But I had postnatal depression. I cannot really accept first the fact that I had C-section, the changes in my body. It was really so overwhelming. The recovery took longer for me and I was really losing motivation. So as I recall actually during my contraction on my first birth, the pain is like a menstrual cramps, yung dysmenorrhea, but 10 times stronger or maybe siguro 15 times stronger pa. So after 12 hours of labor na I cannot really move because of the monitoring they put on my body. And New Year pa nga yun, I gave in when my OB-GYN told me na you should undergo C-section. I cannot say no or wait, but I cannot because I am really actually very tired by that time. I cannot move back then. So mentally, physically, I am actually not prepared to undergo C-section. It took longer for me to recover it. It contributed to postpartum depression or the baby blues. So it's like you cry and you don't know why. Yun yung isang reason na yun. And plus yung traumatic experience. My first birth na may artificial induction na talagang inundus din ako. So it is so fast that it's very traumatic that the photos, I still cannot see the photos of me giving birth. So, it is not actually to discourage you, but to warn you and for you to realize that if you had a traumatic birth experience, mommy, it can affect you. So, like in my case, it affects me being a first-time mother at the time. I struggled to recover, fighting postpartum depression, taking care of my newborn, sleepless nights, breastfeeding my baby, to include the changes my body has gone through, the stretch marks of gaining weight. So, lahat-lahat yun, patong-patong na. But this time, on my second time, I changed on how I view birth. Changed on how I view birth. Yes, before I was still afraid, but I prepared. I did my homework. I did my assignment. I prepared mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I tell you, it is really different. It's like a better version of myself, more confident, more empowered in giving birth. So last 2019, I conceived again, thank God. And this time, I told myself that I should have my dream birth. A gentle, all-natural, unmedicated, no medical intervention birth. And thank God I did. Indeed, nothing is impossible. I tell you, never in my life I felt so empowered and strong. I give all the glory to our God. It was a miracle because doctors said that it is impossible for me to have my vaginal birth after CS. But of course, it's not an instance. I did my homework. I prepared well. I had undergone life coaching during that time. And I tapped gentle birth advocates or birth care providers to help me. My recovery for my second birth, which is a gentle and natural birth, is easier and faster compared to my first birth. It all starts with my biggest why. What is your biggest why? So why I wanted to have a natural birth? Why I go for a VBAC or vaginal birth after C-section? So for you, I will ask you, why? Why do you want to have a natural birth? Why do you want to have a gentle birth? For me, I wanted to have a natural birth to recover faster because I have a toddler who was 2 years old back then, and we don't have a yaya or a house helper. So I wanted to take care of my family and do the chores and quality time for my family. I also wanted to believe that I can and to stretch my faith in God. And it did. And indeed, it happened. The Bible verse really helped me. It is also one of my birthing affirmations. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. I prayed hard and the Lord answered my heart's desires. I remembered while I am on my labor, I was in tears. Not that because of my pain, but because the Holy Spirit talked to me. I get through the pain of labor with God's grace and of course with the help of my preparations, which we will discuss later on. Like me, I also want you to experience the wonderful birthing experience because we mothers will undoubtedly remember this and will treasure this for the rest of our lives. The precious moment we give life to another human being. Birth is empowering and you deserve to have an amazing birth experience, mother. Say it to yourself, I deserve an empowering and amazing birth experience.